In the past month, I've spent multiple hours making projects using Lovable, both for our own agency and even to interest others and pitch ideas to them from the things that I've made. So if you haven't used Lovable yet and you'd like to get started making your own app, then this is the video for you to watch, just to show you how exactly you can make these insane projects without having to overcomplicate anything. And today I'll show you how to do that using n8n as our backend, so that we have AI automation in the mix, which is a key factor in all of these builds that I will show you guys to really elevate the level of quality that you can make with this amazing tool. So just to get started here, I should first show you what we're building today, which is a very simple solution, but it can be very effective. So in my own agency, we have a lot of in-person meetings, whether it's with my business partner Donica or with some of our clients. We do tend to have personal and face-to-face business meetings, and one thing that I thought would be really helpful for us is if I built an app that I could record the meeting, and from there my n8n agent would then transcribe, email all the users who were in the meeting, and it would also create your own copy of the email. So in this case, the tools that the agent uses is the email and the Google Doc nodes within n8n. And once all of this is sent, you can simply get your result or of success of some sort from the Lovable app back to you. So to get started, nice and easy, all that you have to say to it is make me an app that records meetings, and the webhook that we're going to use is going to be the one that you template from the description. By the way, everything that I use in this video will be templated for you to use, play around with, whatever. You import everything by clicking on the import from file here, and then if you've downloaded this from the description, then you can import. So first things first, we can get the webhook from here, and then we can copy it, and we can send that to our Lovable. And the second thing we're going to add to it is the structure. So within Lovable, it's really helpful if you take screenshots of the app that you want to build. I think it makes things a lot prettier once it's actually done. But this is a simple functionality that I would like it to have. So we can simply just screenshot these. You can also import straight from Figma, but I think to screenshot them individually is quite helpful. So I'm going to say perfect. So I send this information to Lovable for it to send the information to the webhook. The UI that I would like it to have is a screen recording for the audio for the actual meeting, a screen asking who to send it to, so that's this functionality here, the first name, the email, and then like these configurations that the person would like, and then the buttons using send summary. And we'll see how that turns out, and then I also ask for a screen at the end saying it was successful, and to finalize we're going to have a landing page for each user to authenticate using their email. Now while that's working there, we're going to set up the back end of the system, which is the n8n, and the way this is going to work is we're going to send the webhook trigger is going to send information to Deepgram, which is going to be our transcriber. And all that you need to do when you template everything, you leave everything as it is. We're getting Nova 3 to transcribe the whole meeting, and the one thing that you are going to change is this token here, and you can get the token by accessing console.deepgram.com, and then you come from dashboard to API keys, and you can create a new key. Once you've done that, you paste it in here, and then you're all good to go. Everything else you can leave as it is. So the file is going to come as audio. That's going to be the name of the binary data, and from there we can send the thing to our AI agent. Now the model that this agent uses is Anthropic Claude, and the reason that is because I always like using Claude 3.7 ideally for making quality text. So ChatGPT is great for other things, but what Claude really specializes in is creating text. So especially if you're asking it to send emails, looking for the summary, and if you're going to have the functionality here of having it specify specific tasks or topics discussed, then you're definitely going to want Claude for that generation of text. Now the second thing we need to do here is authenticate our nodes using the Google Console thing. So as you can see, we need to select the credential, and you would need a client ID and a client secret. So if you come over here to Google Console, console.cloud.google, cool, now we can click select project. And what we want to do here is we want to go to APIs and services, and we can go to OAuth consent screen. And what we can do here is we can go to clients. We're going to create a new client. We're going to get started here. So app name can be anything. Now the support email has to be your own email, because this is all the information that you're going to provide to it to say who's allowed to access this. And in this case, it's obviously going to be you. Pretty sure you can this blank. I need this. Okay, so internal contact information again is going to be your email. Now from this point, once you've put in that information, you're going to want to make a new authentication. So create auth client, you're going to click web application, again anything here. The authorized redirect URIs is where we're going to put the URI link. Once we've done that, we can click create. And then now, as you can see, we got that client ID and the client secret, which we're going to copy into our n8n client secret. Now the last thing we need to do is enable the API for Google Docs. And all we need to do is click enable. And just before we finish up as well, we're going to enable the Gmail API. Click enable. Now once you've done that, you should be ready to go. You need to sign in through the n8n side. And as you can see, the account is connected. Now moving on to the Gmail. Everything's already set up. And we can go back to Lovable and start sending out the messages. But from here, I guess what we can do is we can define everything as A, because we're going to give all of this is going to. So as you can see, Lovable's returned us with a very basic layout, and it's actually not looking too good. I can see that there was an error here, so this can happen. What I can do is just click error and then try to fix this. Cool, let's see if we can record a meeting. As you can see, everything seems to be working. If I continue to send, it's got who would you like to send this to? Yeah, so the basic functionality of it is all good. You would want to tweak this a bit more so it's more visually appealing, of course. But what we can do now is we can go to our backend here and click on test workflow, and it's just going to wait for that call that we're about to make. So this is a test. Actually, what we can do instead, we can just test this one. Cool, so it said success, and we can see that our webhook received the information. And now from here we can start configuring our agent. So first off, we can test this step. As you can see, the files come through along with some other information that we're all going to use eventually. You can see the recipient's name, the focus, and the want copy is a boolean, which is a true or false, which our AI is going to read and do something accordingly. So we can test this step, and we can see that we got a transcription. It says this is a test. Now we can send everything to our AI, which, by the way, you don't need to tweak anything because everything is already naturally mapped. I'm going to get the transcript from the deepgram, and the only thing I want to map here is going to be the send to. Now this is sent as a JSON. We're going to see if the AI is smart enough to capture the first name and send the email to Kai. Now that we've mapped everything, pretty much I've just added the value of what they wanted to focus on, and if it's generic, the AI has been prompted to act accordingly. Just the basic prompt here, not too extensive, so we'll see how that turns out. And essentially the true or false of whether the user wants a copy, and if it's true, it's going to send, or it's going to make a new document and put the copy of the meeting summary under that as well. We're going to continue to send, and we're actually going to try send this to Donica to see if the email does get sent. I'm going to focus on new tasks, make your own copy, send summary. Cool, coming back here, we received the response, which was a success, but there was actually an error within the automation. So at the very beginning, it seems we just forgot to sign in with Google when we authenticated our API access at the start. So we can sign in with Google here, and then we can just select all. Cool, so now that that's done, we're going to try run it again to see if there's any errors. Actually, we can just click test workflow, and that's going to be waiting for another thing. So do the same thing again, try send it to Donica. Cool, we got the success message. but it looks like it's sent out the email, but it wasn't able to give us a copy. We're going to see why that is. Alright, so I have troubleshooted the backend here, and it seems that we had to also authenticate our Google Drive API. But as you can see, everything's worked. It's made a copy for me in my Google Drive account, and let me see. The email has been sent to Donica regarding the meeting as well. So that's been the video for today. I hope I've been able to show you how powerful this thinking is, especially when you combine AI automation to the apps that you build with Lovable. And although the UI here wasn't the best, you can 100% tweak it. I think the reason this was is because I screenshotted it using the background of Figma, but 100% it's something that you can 100% rely on to make projects and even deliver them to your own clients, because they're going to have all the ideas of how this can service their own business. And it all comes down to starting off even in the free tier and making as many of these as you can so you can get better and leveling up from there. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to leave a comment. Also, let me know if there was anything you wanted me to go over more in detail in. It's very important for me to know, making these tutorials for you, so please do that. But other than that, thanks for watching. Cheers.